Good evening, everyone. It's Mikhail Pankov. I'm today going to present some analytical tools which you can use with charting and analysis of the um, patterns using technical analysis. I appreciate your time today. Of course, our group is a privileged group. It's only available for people who actually enrolled and using our trader workstation, our clients. And before I can start, I have to give you a formal disclosure that presented materials are only for educational purpose and should not be constructed as personal and financial advice. Futures and futures options involving risk and not suitable to all investors. Past results are not necessarily indicate of future performance. Options 21 provides options trading education and software, and holds Australian financial license. However, today we will discuss just a general view on different patterns and as well different tools, how to use and interpret charts with interactive brokers. And again, by the end of the presentation, you will have chance to answer your questions, and I'll try to address them immediately. If not, then I will do that later. Okay, first of all, price and volume studies. Why do we need to know about it? Because ultimately, if you are using technical analysis and if you are taking your view from the price action, it is extremely important to understand charts and how underlying prices of securities, indices, commodities, or futures will affect your positions, whether they're strong or weak. And today I will present you different types of charts which are available through interactive brokers. As you can see on the picture, there are different types which are candles, bars, and line. And I'll show you exactly how to use them and how to manipulate with different qualities of the charts, how to, for instance, make bars thicker or how to make them with different time frame more relevant for your observation. And of course, next topic which we're going to discuss today is charting time frames. You can see here on the left hand side, you can see time period, and you can define time period very precisely to your needs, to your analysis. And I will show you later on the trader workstation online how it works, but you can see you can switch between minutes and hours and show as well how many bars you can put in there. Sometimes people confuse, but it's important to understand that the frequency of the observation could be very high. You can still have 15 minutes time period, but you can have very intense, very frequent observation within this time frame. And that's what is important, because this precise understanding will give you more tools to understand when to open position, when to close position, and you can see the range. And in this example, of course, you can see bars, and this is one of the type of the tools which you can see. They have colors as well as showing close, open, close, and you can see the range. Okay, so they are very informative for your understanding, and you can see the movement of the market, whether it's trending up or trading down, and whether it actually below the previous high or below previous low. And of course, range is available for you. And I'll show you how to manipulate with these bars in comparison. In this example, you can see the price charting tools on the top, starting from very left. I will emphasize this. Very left chart settings. And then next is the trading facilities, which you can use right in the chart. You can place order right from the chart. And of course, you need to see time series. You need to see how market closed and what was the high and low. In interactive brokers, sometimes you can be confused because interactive brokers showing you last trade, and after market hours, it's still showing last trade, which has happened through interactive brokers, which could differ from official close price on certain exchange. And only after certain time, when data is coming to Interactive Brokers as a confirmed closed, and you can see it through the price series time change, price time series and historical data, these two. You can see how it is actually closed and what was the latest price. But the historical price of the close must be available for you prior to new open day. Next tool, you can see you can add more studies to your charting tool. You can magnify your studies, and you can do comments on your study. You can type comments or delete comments, and of course you can compare with different indices which are related to the indices of the I don't know, S&P 500 or related to the specific sector indices. You can compare different underlining, and as I said, you can do notation. You can change between your tools, between bars and between candlesticks. You can add volume, for instance, and as well, you can see time series of the sales. You can have annotation by a trending line. You can use a trend. You can create just random lines, or you can create horizontal line or vertical line. You can add Fibonacci retracement, and of course you can remove these lines if you wish, one by one, or all of them. Next one is magnifying the specific period, say that period you would like to explore, so you use this magnifier. And of course, you can increase frequency of observation or reduce frequency of observation. You can increase the thickness of the candles, or you can reduce them. And we are going to explore all of it in real-time platform. But next, as I show you, you can use trend lines, and these trend lines can be created by tools, annotation tools over here again. So that's the tool which you can create, and you can form a view for yourself, whether it is a support or resistance, whether it is a break of the trend, and when it has happened. Okay, so trend lines, of course, is very suitable for technical analysis and used by everyone, including Paul Weiss, who is using trend lines as part of his system. So you can define level of supportive resistance by using this trend line, and it's available through Trader Workstation. Of course, some of you would use some chart patterns, and here is an example of narrowing trading range. You can see that the pressure from both sides is building. You can see that pattern is basically coming to a certain agreement about the price, and then the original price movement, which was sideways for some time, suddenly change, and it comes along with previous trend line. So the example of chart patterns could be formation of flag and pennant, and you can see that initial surge or drop in price is followed by a period of consolidation, sideways trading, and then move will fully break the original direction of the trend. You can see that consolidation phase and then break. And this is as well flag pull. Just a few examples which you can draw. You can use this trend line over here, and you can it will help you to analyze it. This one, to analyze what kind of pattern it is. Of course, it will not answer your question without knowledge, but at least you can use this and follow Paul's advice, follow his system. You can achieve very impressive results. You heard about Fibonacci, of course, but for some of you who haven't, Leonardo Fibonacci was a great mathematician who lived in 13th centuries, Italian mathematicians, and he worked in an area when he developed a special mathematical proportion, and this proportion helps to divide the ranges, and these ranges are available. This is a screenshot of S&P 200, ASX 200, sorry, and this is 6 months time frame. You can see the movement, and you can see the breakup to the upside today, and you can see on the left hand side it's arbitrage meter. Probably you will be interested to know how it works. Of course, first of all, we need to discuss Fibonacci lines, and you can see there is a proportion when we create between high and low, and we can see certain level of support and resistance, basically, which forms very significant level of either support or resistance based on mathematical calculation Fibonacci. And you can use these techniques by analyzing graphs and defining where pattern or where this trend line might end up, whether it is phase of consolidation or whether it's already start of accumulation and to the break to the upside. This arbitrage meter I left today just to show that sometimes you can use as well additional indicators, and although you can argue whether it's suitable for you or not, but just in essence of arbitrage meter, it is a difference between cash index settlement, which is XJO, and the actual futures, which is SPI futures. And you can see that today on a 6 months line, there was basically no arbitrage on 6 months time frame. But if you look at weekly and daily, you will see a completely different picture. And this is important because you can see different picture when you change the time frame, and we will go through that. However, Fibonacci lines are very consistent with different time frames, and you can see how they correlated within different time frames. So by the way, that's the arbitrage between, again, cash settlement of the index, and which represented XJO, and first contract of SPI. Okay, as well, interactive brokers have very explicit and very rich and capable study tools. And you can see there is a long list of oscillators, and this oscillators will help you to identify patterns based on statistical analysis, determine trends and current trend. You can see accumulation and distribution lines, accumulate, distribute. You can see Bollinger Bands here. You can see as well simple moving average is not available here, but it is not presented here, but it is available through interactive brokers, and I'll show you in a second. You can see some rare parabolic SARS, which is measurement of risk. You can see pivotal points. Pivotal points, in reality, nothing more than just a Fibonacci explanation of entry and exit based on Fibonacci retracement in a short time frame. You've got movement, you've got Williams, etc. So if you go to charts, left-hand side, over here, you can set your chart parameters, and as well, you can add study, and that's where oscillators are. So you go charts, and then study, and then you select whatever you need, whether it's Bollinger Bands or simple moving average. I will show you how to manipulate this oscillators in a few minutes. Let me just go through my presentation first. This is an example of comparison of simple moving average, and you can see simple moving average are presented over here as MA9. So it means that there is a 9 days as a averaging 9 days, compare with simple moving average 50 days. And you are comparing short-term and long-term. And many of you, of course, know the difference when the signals are to be long. If you see that the 9-day simple moving average is above longer term 50-day moving average, and it is short when it's crossing, or that cross and golden cross. Probably heard about this, and this is just representation of this occurrence. You can see long and short, and you can of course use this together or separately, but again, according to Paul study, you need to use a certain set of indicators, including simple moving average with 20 periods averaging, and altogether you can achieve better results by combining Paul's strategy. And this is just a very short overview, and I would like to go to the real presentation, presentation of the Interactive Brokers itself as a live platform. And if you can just think about questions, because I just quickly overviewed the essence of the trading tools. And of course, through your trading patterns, you already have some questions. So I'd like to address this. But let me just switch to Trader Workstation itself, and I will present you what I was just talking about. Okay, so let's start from the simple but yet very important part: how you can actually select the chart, how you can start the chart. You can see on the top there are different tools, and one of them, chart. I'd like to draw your attention here on the top. This is chart, and if you select the line, in this case SPX, and then click on chart, then new chart will be formed in the new window. And you can enlarge this window, and you can make it relevant to your screen, or you can combine these charts together, put them next to each other in different environment. Trader Workstation and Mosaic, you can do it differently. You can as well connect these charts. There is a group, window, source, destination, so you can connect them, and they will simultaneously will update the same picture or different picture. So once you run the chart, you need to understand the time frame, and you can see left hand side corner, I'm just pointing right now, 6 months daily bars. So we are talking about 6 months time frame with the frequency of observation daily bars. So you can click on it, and you can leave it as it is, or you can change the frequency of observation within 6 months time frame. What you need to do, you need to move cursor to the right side, click on this spinner, and you've got different options. So you can make it more frequent. For instance, you can do 2 hours bars, and then picture will be different. You see, it's quite busy, so it is hard to read, but sometimes you would like to drill into that picture, and you would like to analyze this time frame, for instance. And in this case, there is a second row of menu. You can see second row, which you can basically configure as you like. So if you click on this left-hand side, and you've got different tools, chart parameters, and let's start from this chart parameters. This chart parameters is basically aggregated information about your underlining and your contract. You can combine contracts here, or you can do a virtual security. You can create something else, like you can create your own index if you like. And notice that the time frame can be changed here. You can reset it to the default, for instance, and you can show this in different ways. You can show as a trade, or you can use option implied volatility or historical volatility. if you wish so. We will leave it as a trades, and next is a type. You can see bar type and candlesticks, right? And we can switch to high-low bars, for instance. And if we just change high-low bars and would like to apply it and see how it works, we click apply, and these changes should take immediate effect. You can see here is different pattern, and probably what we can do, we can make it a little bit better to read. You can see yellow is a slight warning for you that it will be really hard to read. So you can move it to a daily bars again, and again apply. And meanwhile it's updating, you can see that additional data features are available. For instance, we can do an add quote panel at the bottom. We can add a charted trader. That's the tool which allows you to trade immediately from your chart if you like. You can have legend, you can have historical volatility, but historical volatility, of course, not always applicable. And as well, volume of trade is not always applicable, depends what kind of assets you are trading. So this additional data feed will be applicable for some bar types and will be not applicable for different types. It will be applicable for some time horizons, and it will be not applicable for another time horizons. So you can work as well with studies and highlight charts. You can use additional symbols. For instance, you would like to show some splits and dividends, or you would like to have cash dividends. And this is important for your fundamental analysis to understand how it is important in terms of trend line, or how news, some release of news will affect or has had affected in the past. And you can put your trades, so you can see your point of entry and your point of exit. You can as well change the time frame, of course, and use different data, show data in user time frame, because sometimes you're trading multiple markets and you would like to see it after market hours in your time frame. So next, you can click on studies, and these studies are very much flexible and adjustable. Let's start from building very small, simple moving average. I click on simple moving average and I click add. So in this applied study, I've got by default contract SPX, which is S&P 500, traded on CBOE, and as a source of data, we've got trades, and we can basically change the inputs as well. You can change inputs of weighted volume weighted average price, time average, or you can just use as a close. You can use next period as 9 days, or you can use as 20 days. Once I hit enter, the data was applied, and you can see now data is flowing through your chart, and this is 2 hours 5 seconds bars. Let me change it to 1 week chart. And you've got two underlining volatility itself, historical volatility, showing current historical volatility of the index around 9.48.5. And this is, of course, important if you're trading indices or options related, and arbitrage meter as well. What you can do, you can remove some information which you don't need. And there is a cross. You click on the cross and high arbitrage meter. By doing so, you will expand the field, and you can see that in reality, someone actually entered here position and is currently trading this and adding some positions. You can see yellow marks are entering points here as well. So this is some explanation of your trades as well. And what you can do, you can change, of course, the type of bars by clicking left hand side. You can show candlesticks, for instance. Just click once, and you've got the same chart but expressed in candlesticks. And you've got 20 days moving average. If you don't need to see volatility, you can remove it by clicking exit. If you would like to add new study, you've got here a button with symbol of magnifier. And notice that you've got as well zoom in and zoom out. You've got as well crosshair over here, which I do use sometimes, or I can switch it off if you don't need it. Let's add another study, and let's add, for instance, Bollinger Bands. So we click on magnifier, add study, and then click Bollinger Bands. And we are coming back to chart settings. We can move some settings of Bollinger Bands to what we need to. For instance, this is EMA average, EMA, and we can move it to simple moving average or weighted moving average, or expected moving average. So there's 30 minutes units, and you can use global settings by clicking here just to use appropriate color. You can change this color by clicking the settings and apply whatever color is best for you. So it is quite flexible. If you used to a specific color, that's absolutely fine. So let's just apply that specific Bollinger Bands and see how charts will reflect. Now you can see the charts itself, and you can see that there was quite a significant movement in terms of dispersion. You can see dispersion in terms of Bollinger Bands really expanded, and this is reflection of statistical data showing that the dispersion is really increased. So volatility increased too. And you can see these combinations of simple moving average and Bollinger Bands within the 1 week, 30 minutes bars. But what you can do, you can of course change it to any time frame, 6 months, or there is another set of data which can be useful for you. It's automatic charts. So you can go through this specified 2 minutes bars, for instance, and then system will help you to standardize it to 2 minutes bars if it's suitable for your time frame. Of course, when you do analysis, it is important to realize what you are trading for. Are you trading for longer term or short term? If you are trying to determine long-term position and you are analyzing in a very short time frame, maybe it's not appropriate, because you're looking for a longer term chart. And conversely, if you're looking for a longer term chart, shorter term chart, why would you analyze longer term chart? However, in the second position, in second view, it could be argued that when you analyze even a shorter frame in terms of your trade, even day trade, you still need to understand overall trend. And let me demonstrate the use of edit charts. You can see left hand side, I click on line, and I draw from left to right the chart, okay? And you can have settings which will automatically expand chart to the downside, or you can leave it as a short drawing pattern as you like. So when you create your trends, of course, you need to have some space. And how you can get the space? There is a little symbol over here, if I hover my mouth over the blue line, which become blue, you can drag to left hand side to make a margin area. Okay, I'm moving to the left side, and by doing so, I'm giving some free space, so I can have some free space for the unfolding pattern and the trend. And I can continue to draw trends, or what we can do, we can imply a little bit different time horizon and see how it will change. But just for purpose of presentation, I would like to show you that we've got two templates which already saved as annual template and intraday template. If I click on annual template, you'll see the picture will change, and now it is only a line. There is no bars anymore, and it has additional arbitrage meter. There is no simple moving average, nothing like this. Why? Because this is my saved template, and I can change this template again. For instance, I would like to use all the time some kind of template to analyze with certain system, and this system should consist, first of all, Bollinger Bands. Then it should consist some simple moving average 20, and it should be expressed as the it should be expressed not in line, but I'd like to express it in candles or bars, and I need to change it to, say, daily bars and candlesticks, which is good. And I would like to use as well historical volatility, and I would like to have a quote panel and chart trader and option implied volatility. And let's just stop by this, and now we've got these bars coming, and this is not only bars but as well whole set which you can save for your future. And you can save annual template. You can see here, save annual template, and that's what I do. Okay, now I can switch to different stock, and let's see, for instance, crude oil, June. You can see that it's actually in 1 year daily bars, right? And again, I can switch to intraday. That's preset daily bars with intraday. But now I can come back to my annual template. And that's very easy to switch between these templates. Of course, you would like to know more about how to analyze and make a decision. Today, within the next 20 minutes, I won't be able to give you a system. I think the best approach is to take Paul's courses and learn through Paul's courses his system and try to master the system, so you understand really movement of the market for yourself and can see the benefits of the system. Because of course every system has a problem and some drawbacks, but from my perspective, Paul's system is very consistent and it has produced good results. So if we decided to move, for instance, all this data line on the chart, what we can do, we can click left hand side on this more icons, and you can see clear all annotations. Okay, and yeah, that should clear remove all trend lines. Maybe because it's just the preset. Let me just change to 6 months, and you can remove this remove all studies as well by basically going to chart parameters and again studies and remove them all. And instead, what you can do, you can add secondary series, and in this case, you can compare, for instance, root, which is Russell, and if you click indices here and apply, you will have in a minute just loading up. Yeah, unfortunately, my data subscription is not showing me that root capabilities, but generally speaking, it would show you second line, and what you can do as well through parameters, you can change configure parameters as indices, and here is different indices. For instance, Dow Jones Industrial, you can add it here, and you can remove root, for instance, by deleting this. The system will allow you to adjust your parameters over here. So if you go secondary study and remove this, that will help. And now you can see combination of Dow Jones, which is purple line, comparatively to S&P 500, and notice there is as well explanation of the current underlying price. You can see last, change, bid, and ask. You can see size as well. I will answer your questions in a few minutes. Dan, thank you very much. So if we would like to put, for instance, few ASX in one window, how we can do that? Let me just demonstrate this example, and let me just close this specifically, and let's start from CBA, and we select stock. This is Commonwealth Bank. That's the current price. We are selecting charts. It's coming, and if we would like to add new study, we have to configure the patterns, and you can add secondary series. And here, secondary series, you need to select first of all, for instance, Woolworth. It's underlining. You type and then add stock. You need to compare with the current position with CBA, for instance, and again the source is trade, and you can select either secondary or primary. Primary means that it will be the same time frame and the same observation as primary underlining, or you can put it underneath second line, and then you can compare too. Let me just demonstrate few ways how you can do it. Notice there is auto scale. So if the prices are completely different, then it will scale it to the point so you can see it accurately anyway to compare these indices. So once I selected Woolworth, I can add another contract, and in this case I can add WBC, for instance, VSPIC, and the same, select stock, and this is primary as well, and NCM, and this is Nucleus Mining, and you can continue on and on and on, but you have to be reasonable because you need to read the graph, and if the graph is too busy, then of course that will be very difficult to understand the correlationship and movement. Okay, and as well time scale. If it's too different, if the range is significantly different, then to compare different ranges, it will be difficult. And you can see this is a quite good example of it. So you really had to read these positions, unless if you go and magnify that specific area. You can see left click, and then I drag it to the next point. I want to stop, and now it is kind of okay. You can see the price movement, and you can see comparison, and you've got as well explanation. You can add. There is a little function, add description, and you can see what blue means and what purple means and yellow. Okay, so that will give you an explanation. As well, in graphs, as I mentioned to you before, you can have automatic trading from buying and selling, just pushing this. Let's use alert. I click left side alert, and I use alert a lot. And if I put it here, it means, and click left, it means that I'd like to be alerted if CBA will go beyond 73.81. There is operator beyond or equal. And if I click activate, then it's activated. I do encourage use alerts, and alerts can be modified not only just as a very loud and unpleasant sirens, but as well it could be emailed to you if you are outside of the trading platform, and that will be very useful. As I mentioned, you can modify these positions as well. Let's just clean all these charts and come back to chart parameters. And you can see second studies. And let's remove primary, change it to secondary. So what will happen then, the scale will change because you will have actually two graphs. Just a second. Right. So it is different now. It's still not perfect, but at least you can see that you've got two scales, left-hand side and right-hand side, and it's much easier to read, okay? So again, when you are choosing completely different ranges, you need to consider how you can fit these ranges in your screen, okay? What are other tools you've got? You've got here some annotations, and you can add, for instance, range, and type with the color, and you can select this range, okay? So you are using different trend lines, of course, here, vertical trend lines, and that helps you to make annotation on your screen. Okay, what else you'd like to know? Probably you need to undo some stuff, and there is a functions to undo. You can as well, as I said, change the and configure charts colors, and you can refresh them, and you can see time period as well. You can basically come back as back trader and type the time series, for instance, 9 days, specifically when it was. That's as well good to compare. You can change the thickness of the candles and change this. So it is very much adjustable and very intuitive platform. And I believe that many of you who are actually trading daily notice that, and using this with great advantage for your trades. So this is again current Fibonacci retracement, and I'd like to draw your attention that you can, of course, not only calculate a 50% retracement and 38 and 23.6, which are very, very significant. Specifically, 50% would show you the median, basically, of the range, and from even mathematical point of view, it is significant. But you can see that current pattern is very interesting and very breathtaking because we saw that movement down, and we saw that that was rejected exactly at level 30, 38.2, 52.94, and it has shown some strengths, and it has shown some signs of accumulation to the upside. According to the system which Paul's taught us, we see that the pattern has not broken previous high, and of course that's not a finalized conclusion. We can draw some observation from this 6 months pattern, but we need to take as well on account some cyclical and some time frame which are very important, such as end of the quarter. Remember that today is end of the quarter, and for portfolio managers it is important to perform, so we can compare how quarters are actually being presented, and you can see that there is a definitely movement, confirmation movement of each quarter up, right? And you can see that for the portfolio manager this change is not significant, but that range is quite large within the quarter. So be aware about this movement related to end of the quarter, because I would be not surprised to see tomorrow that market will reflect on the end of the quarter and will be sold off. Of course, I cannot predict the future, but even by this sharp movement, you can see that there was an arbitrage opportunity in ASX, showing that there is a difference between actual cash and the underlying futures. And then you can see that this opportunity has diminished by the end of the trading session. And tomorrow we probably will see a pullback, but there could be some other sentiment news would help to sustain this level or even bring it higher. We can only guess about it, but of course some of indicators would help you to predict it with a certain accuracy, and some of them, of course, futures. And you can see that currently futures are very strong, but still weaker than it was. There's just previous midday trade. They were 54.20, currently 54.01. So they are definitely weaker by 20 points, and May is even weaker. So there is actually backwardation at the moment, which is sometimes is due to expected correction. I think I've done quite a lot today, and again, you've got my details, of course, as a client of us, and you can certainly call me and ask me questions if you do have such questions. If you would like to ask them right now, please do. And meanwhile, I'd like to remind you that I'm providing to all our clients who are trading with us personalized support and general financial advice, how to place order, how to trade, how to define point of entry and exit. And today was just an overview for some of you who did not know how to use graphs or had some basic questions, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions further. So please do send me your questions via email, or please give me a call, and we can arrange time frame. Of course, it has to be booked in advance. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for your participation and attentions. And let me finish for today. Have a good night.